Damas y caballeros, bienvenidos, ladies and gentlemen. Emanating, coming at you from the multi-million dollar Sports Byline Studios in San Francisco, California. Check it. This is the one, the only Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Often imitated, but never duplicated. And how can I say that? Because I was the original. Listen, when I started this stuff back when I was 6 years old, back in 1984, doing the radio, of course, from a police station in San Francisco on the phone. Bottom line, it was Ring Talk with Charles Day down there in Florida. Of course, we incorporated that into a show and a little bit later. And before we knew it, we were syndicated. Of course, now we are live 3 hours a week on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, iHeartRadio, of course, Twitch.tv, and YouTube as well. Straight up, who am I? My name is Pedro Fernandez. Welcome to Ring Talk Live Worldwide, the longest running fight show in history, no doubt about that. If they had a spot in the Guinness Book of World Records for fight shows, I should be there, no doubt about it. Straight up. Let's talk about last night's fight first. Of course, talk about boxing. Some people say to me, Pedro, is boxing fixed? And I say to them, I sort of grip my teeth and say, nah, it's not fixed. I said, but it can be arranged. And when I say arranged, is some bad stuff happens. Last night, I thought that Amanda Serrano might have lost that fight with a young lady from down in South America. I mean, I thought it was like a really, really close fight, Lucrecia Manzur. And I want to tell you that I'm probably going to go with the challenger on this one. I mean, she was limited. She could only throw one jab at a time. She was limited, but yet she couldn't miss Amanda Serrano with the right hand. She hurt Amanda Serrano. And in the end, two judges, I knew this was going to go down. So I sort of turned it off about the ninth round. The reason why I did that, because I thought that the girl was pretty much in control. I said to myself, she's pretty much in control, but you're going to screw her. I know what's going to happen here. So instead of watching it live, I watched it a few minutes later, came back later, and of course, they did screw her. They called it a majority decision for Amanda Serrano. Get this, scores were 114-114. One judge, a female judge, had it even. The other two judges had 8-4 in rounds for Amanda Serrano. She got beat up. It wasn't even fair. Peanut Head, that's what I call her, Peanut Head. She's asked to be the first brain damaged woman on TV if she keeps going. Straight up, this is Ring Talk Live Worldwide. On the other side of the break, we're bringing boxing's PhD Socrates Palmer. 1-800-878-PLAY. That's 1-800-878-7529.
I am an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works, and then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. As a veteran, show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you'll get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097. Proceeds support Heroes on the Water.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history, and it's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment you should add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money, and you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, one you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you. Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract. even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
800-826-4073. 800-826-4073. 800-826-4073. That's 800-826-4073.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
The voice of the late, great Scott Cuddy bringing us back from the break. It is 12 minutes past hour. This is the Saturday show, a 1 hour edition of Ring Talk Live worldwide for Saturday, August 22nd, 2026. If you were watching TikTok last night, which was like the most atrocious production I've ever seen in my life, I mean, unprofessional, it looked like a bunch of broads trying to do TV, like trying to do like what did Max Kellerman, what was that TV channel they used to have? What they used to call that back in New York City? Sock?
It was BCAS.
No,
Public
but it was
Access.
called some kind of television, some kind of third-rate television, whatever it was. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, bottom line is that was a third-rate broadcast last night, without a doubt. Of course, in the main event, Amanda Serrano earned her 50th win, which I thought was a bit controversial. And anytime my friends start saying it's a draw, and I had it the other way after looking look. Here's what's up. After the 8th round, I thought they were going to screw this girl. I did. I really, really thought they were going to screw her. There's absolutely no way they're going to let this girl win. No way, no how. Okay? Even though she's rocking Amanda Serrano, she's beating Amanda Serrano around the ring. So I said, there's no way it's going to happen. So I turned off the TV, and then I came back later, watched the decision, and watched the last 3 rounds, and I was right. I just think that, boxing isn't fixed. It's arranged. And that was an arranged win last night, because to have it 116, 112, or 8-4 in rounds, watching that 12-round fight, 12 2-minute rounds, there's no way in the world anybody with common sense that knows anything about judging a professional boxing match can come up and say that Amanda Serrano won 8 of those rounds.
No, especially when like the first 7, you could make the case if she was down 5-2, 6-1. So you can't tell me that she rallied back. That's insane. The cards. I personally thought that maybe a draw would have been the fairest, but like
Why?
you said,
Why? I mean, wait. Why is it you guys come up with this? You're not the first. This is not the first time. And a lot of my wives guys come up with this. A draw would have been. No. A draw wouldn't have been fair. The fight should go down the way it should go down. You don't give consolation. You're asking for consolation prizes. If they should get the win, not a consolation prize.
you're right, and maybe I'm watching it through the eyes of of like a lifetime achievement type of thing. But you're right. We shouldn't score fights that way. Every round is its own separate thing. Um, if you ask me who landed the hardest shots, who got buckled, who looked hurt, it was Amanda. She looked very, very old, very old.
Peanut head. She's like 38 years old, or going on 90 years old. Bottom line, she's 50-4 now with a draw and 32 KOs. And let's be honest, and her claim to fame is losing 3 fights to Lori Taylor. I mean, they say she's great. She's great in the sense. I'm looking at the girl she fought. She was a 20-1 favorite over the girl last night. She was a 100-1 favorite over the girl she last fought.
Well, that's women's boxing. I mean, women's boxing is just it's
A
one
show?
extreme to the other. Not even a show. It's really just an extreme. The extreme level is high, and then there's not much middle ground. Now, has it evolved over the years? Yes, but there's still that big gap. Amanda Serrano, I thought the Katie Taylor trilogy, I thought she won at least 2 out of those 3. The last one, I thought Katie definitely won.
Sock. Here's what's up. You want, if she was Lamont, if you want her to, she was like fighting like Lamont Roach there. In other words, what I'm trying to say is you got to step in and go for it. And when you want to win, you got to show that. And not enough people want to step over that line. In other words, I didn't think she was willing to step over, even though I thought I thought she might have won one of the Lori Taylor fights, one of them. I didn't watch all 3 real close. But the bottom line is, you gotta when the opportunity sits in front of you, you have to give it 1,000% and do everything right. Because if you don't get another shot. She got 2 other shots and she failed 3 times on scorecards.
Yeah, look, I think that the first fight with Katie, I thought that she definitely won. And she was fighting at home because the fight was here in New York. But
Yep.
Katie Taylor
Yeah.
was the
Yeah.
cash cow.
Yeah.
You know, she was the one that packed the house. Although it was
Because
good.
she was white and Irish.
Well, white and Irish, and they traveled. And Amanda Serrano gained more fame after that first fight because I think a lot of people thought she got screwed. So then the second fight, I thought it was more of a 50-50 in terms of the fan bases, but I I don't know if it's that she's not able to, if she's not willing to step over that line. I think she just can't do it anymore. I
Goodbye. Right?
think she's
Tommy D says
Mhm.
she's slurring her words like me.
Yeah, I mean, punches are not vitamins, and the female skull is a lot different than the men's skull, and it's
Especially when you got a
not
peanut
meant to
head.
be hit. You have a peanut head,
She got a little touch.
and
No,
she's
her head is
and she
tiny.
and imagine, well, and she still can't avoid shots. You figure she has a
Oh,
peanut
oh,
head, it'd be
oh,
hard,
oh,
it'd be harder to get hit,
oh,
right?
oh, folks, can you believe? Oh man, Amanda, I hope you're not listening, baby. Now he just kicked you right in the show.
Yeah.
All in all, I wasn't too impressed with the women's boxing, the women's boxing I saw last night. There were a couple of bright spots. For the most part, it was a pedestrian night of boxing.
Yeah, it definitely was. I was really surprised that, like you mentioned earlier, TikTok Live. I thought MVP had a deal with ESPN. So I was shocked. I wound up watching it on YouTube.
But they're trying to say they got 2 million people watching it. So if they got 2 million people watching, I don't know if they made any money. I don't know who the idea was making any money or not. But it was the worst broadcast I've ever seen in my entire life. No, they used to. I can't remember that network. That type of TV that Kellerman started off with. It was called it had a certain name to it. But that's the way this
Well,
huh?
no, well, I mean, it was public access,
There
and
we
the
go.
station.
There we go.
Yeah.
Public access. That was it.
Yeah.
That's what that spit looked like last night. Public access TV and poor public access TV at that.
It definitely was low budget to say the least.
No budget.
However, no budget.
That's
However,
it.
TikTok,
I was looking at one point in time. They had 3 fine chicks on. I mean, three beautiful girls, and they were like talking nothing.
just yeah, I mean, it definitely was an experiment that I hope that was the last time we see it. Now, mind you, TikTok is the largest social media platform in the world, right? It's despite people trying to ban it, this and the third, it's still number one.
Is
especially with the
a
youth.
Chinese-based website?
No, these guys bought it.
Okay.
Edelman, Edelson, and these people.
It
was bad.
Are you on a
was
first
bad
name?
until
Are
they.
you on a first name basis with the guy that owns TikTok or what?
No, I'm not. I kind of wish I was, but
because anybody that watched that fight broadcast last night that's ever watched a professional boxing match knows that the broadcast sucked. It was just really, 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 really. It was bad production wise. The talent was horrible. The talent had no idea what they didn't know. What they were lost. And you know what? It really wasn't, to an extent, having been in that position, green. At least I knew my basics. They didn't know their basics last night. They knew nothing about boxing. They were just a bunch of chicks that got a job on TV. And the one guy looked like Tommy D wearing his football jersey. I thought that was because Tommy D told me he was doing the prelims or something like that. So I said, whoa. They moved Tommy over to the main desk. I had to look real close. It wasn't him.
No, listen, I don't know what MVP and Jake Paul were thinking of. I guess they figured that. I mean, I'm sure that they didn't spend a lot of money on the broadcast talent. So Amanda was paid well, which is probably why she's still doing this. Her 50th win. It would really be nice if she rode off into the sunset. I mean, if someone loves her, They tell her, baby girl, this is it.
Okay,
It's over.
I'm laughing because the one she was a split decision one of the fights, and your favorite judge, Benoit Rassal, he voted for he voted for Amanda in that fight. Is he still your favorite judge?
No, not at all. And mind you,
Can you expand on that? You just leave people hanging, or what? I mean, you and him have a relationship. What's going on?
no, I want nothing to do with that Bozo. The scorecards were really bad, but like I said, I thought that um, the other young lady could have maybe closed the show a little bit more. And you got to know when you're the B side, you can't leave it in these guys' hands because they are going to screw you.
But how much do you need to do?
I
That's
know.
what.
I
Listen,
know.
you've never. We're gonna go to a break right after this. But you've never
Hmm.
been there, Sock. You're standing in the center ring. You've beaten somebody. You look over at them. They're all lumped up. This and that. I mean, you say to yourself, "Man, I lit his ass up, bro." And then they raise his hand. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like the closest I can equate or equal it to is playing blackjack in Las Vegas and getting an ace and a king, which is blackjack, and then some guy with a 16 beating you. That's the only way. That's the only way. I mean, you can't believe it.
It's like they changed the rules in the middle of the game.
Well, this road will break. Straight up, you are tuned to Ring Talk Live, worldwide. Your inside look at the world of boxing and MMA. Of course, coming up tonight, Raleigh Romero. Everybody's when it comes to talking smack, Raleigh's probably one of the better guys. Of course, he's taking on Teofimo Lopez, who has no problem talking smack either. Of course, the Teofimo Lopez story, him and his father, it's a ventriloquist act. Yeah, and each of them take turns playing the dummy.
Do you want to add a boost to your sex life this weekend? Do you want to make your partner and yourself happy? Then call our special hotline now. We'll sell you those little pills that work below the belt for less than $1 a pill and deliver your package in a few days, just in time for the weekend. Our pill delivers almost the same results as expensive pills for less than $1 a piece, and you don't need a prescription. And ask about their buy 3 get 3 free offer. What are you waiting for? Boost your sex life and have a great time now. Less than $1 a pill, discreet delivery in a few days, and a buy 3 get 3 free offer? Dial this number and save it now.
800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. That's 800-245-2751. Paid for by the Pharmacy Shop.
Lower your car payment today. Lower your car payment today. Yes, you heard us right. You can lower your car payment right now by making this free call and save up to $1,400 a year on your current car payments. Think about your current car payment right now. What's that costing you per year? Now think about what it would be like to put an extra $1,400 back in your pocket. That's the average savings our customers experience. We can help you drive the same car and pay less every month by lowering your car payment's interest rate to as low as 4.67%. At Rate Genius, we can work with you to refinance any car payment. If you qualify, it costs you nothing to find out how you can lower your car payment. To learn more, call this number right now.
800-832-2816. 800-832-2816. 800-832-2816. That's 800-832-2816.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8223. 800-690-8223. 800-690-8223. That's 800-690-8223.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
Yesterday was Don King's 95th birthday. Let me tell you about 2012. We're in Budapest, Hungary. Okay, so Don's kicking in the lobby, and he's got all these European media types hanging around him, like blowing him the whole night. Oh, Don King, because they've never seen Don King in their life. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So Don's over there. He's holding court in the hotel lobby, the Intercontinental Hotel. I got a nice penthouse. Bottom line is, so DK says to me, let's go to I gotta go do a luncheon. You want to come with me? I said, hey, go Pedro, come with me. I said, all right. So anyway, I go with him, and we're sitting on a stage in a sporting club, not a sports bar, but a sporting club per se, like a fraternity or something like that. All these rich people are there, and some of them were submitting written questions and the whole 9 yards. And of course, Don King's taking pictures with everybody. So anyway, we get seated on the stage, and there's three on the dice. There's three of us. There's me, him, and there's a translator, an interpreter, who I thought was always a government agent. So anyway, this and that. So I'm looking out at the crowd, and these people have never seen a black man in their life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is like television for real. I'm telling you not. They've never seen a black person in their entire life in person. So they're looking at King. They're fixated on King. They can't believe that King is like there, and he's as black as he is. I go, Don, as black as you are, they've never seen anything as black as you in their entire lives. They're freaking out. This is where Don King comes back with the classic line: Pedro, they only let niggas in here with money. Oh, Sock, can you top that?
I'm not gonna try.
Come on, man. See, got that. Hey, listen. My time around, and people, it was his birthday yesterday, and people were calling him a crook and this and that. None of these people ever had any personal dealings with him or any professional dealings with him. They're reading a lot of what a lot of. Let me tell you, he wasn't the greatest guy to promote you. But if you had an attorney and the attorney didn't buckle, you made your money. Do you feel where I'm coming from here, Sock? Because he would say he'd come to you. Don King's famous thing in the 80s, where it come 80s and 90s, when it comes to the guys that say, you know what, man? Well, instead of that $2 million, you've got to bring it down to like 1.5. I'm hurting this and that. We ain't selling no tickets, stuff like that. But if you had an attorney like Michael Trainer, who handled Ray Leonard, somebody like that, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You got your money, so you didn't get screwed. Or Tim Witherspoon, famous for suing Don King. I'm gonna go into that too a little bit. Bottom line is Tim Witherspoon, 2-time WBC and WBA heavyweight title holder at one point in time. He had gotten like $180,000 worth of fronts, these $40,000 front checks from Don King, and I saw the front checks. Okay, so he got all these front checks, and then he said, "I only got paid $30,000." Well, the reason why I only got paid $30,000 is that he took all his money in advance.
You got to pay the piper, man.
No, I mean he was holding a check in front of him like 30 grand, going, "This is all I got paid." No, Holmes, you got all them advances. And Tim and I had Tim on the show about a couple of years ago. He was taking phone calls during the show.
Really? Oh, that's pretty cool.
So obviously I cut him off real short. Goodbye.
Oh, he was. Oh, I thought you meant like callers were calling in.
No. I mean like his cell phone. He had a couple cell phones. He was like Adrian Broder. He had his real phone and then his whole phone.
The whole phone.
Remember that one?
Wow. Yes.
I mean, speaking of Adrian Broner, I saw him in the news this week. He doesn't look all that good. But at one point in time, I mean, he had some talent and 147 pounds. And then after that, he's like 190, 200, 220 pounds, maybe 240 now. God knows what he weighs. But the bottom line is he doesn't look good. He looks like he's drinking himself to death on purpose.
He actually looks better than what he did a couple of months ago. It's just scary. That's how, messed up he looked. Yeah, he's I don't know, man. He's a caricature.
Okay,
right? Is that the word?
All right, all right. Yeah, I got some heat for kicking Steve Smoger's ass in a recent column. Did you happen to see that column?
I did.
Okay, I did. Did I go overboard on that?
No. Why don't you ask me another question? Did you lie at all?
No.
Exactly. So I mean, if the truth hurts. You are doing your job. You're reporting and
that dude hated me.
A true story.
That dude hated me. I swear to God, if he looked at me with a piercing look one time. We were in Atlantic City, and he looked over at me. He looked over at me, and he looked at me with such a look. if my parents were standing next to us and looks could kill, it would have wiped out the entire family.
Really? Well, look, I was a fan of him inside the ring. I
Why?
thought,
Because he let
he was,
fights go?
because he let fights go, and the best referees are the ones you don't notice, right?
Ask Roy Jones and look at the Dennis Letterman fight with Roy Jones. Look at that one where he stood there for 4 seconds and let Roy get clipped. 4 or 5 seconds went by. He was just standing there. What was he doing?
He became a fan. Yeah,
Man,
that was bad. Yeah, I mean, Steve, kind of had like that moniker to the death, kind of like that celebrity death match, style.
mentality.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but when you get to know the real person, he definitely was a piece of work.
Well, here's what's up.
But
He was he was a superior. He was a criminal court judge in New Jersey, and they took him off the bench. There's only been 14 judges ever been taken off the bench in the history of New Jersey. In the history of the state, there's only been 14 judges ever disbarred or taken off the bench. And he was about to be disbarred and taken off the bench. What they did was he submitted his resignation with prejudice. In other words, he's not going to contest it in this and that. So they took his resignation, and then he went on to be the head lawyer for the city of Atlantic City. He was like he had all kinds of jobs, man, and it just blew my mind that he could keep on going like he was going. I always thought that something smelled about Steve.
yeah, I mean, when those stories came out that he was given more time to people of color,
More time
that
to
committed the
people of
same crime.
color, higher fines, and guess what's what? If a black lady was 20 minutes late to a court hearing, and shame on that. Now we all know that I'm 23% black. You're about to know where I'm going. Well, we all know that a lot of black people operate on colored people time, and I'm one of them to an extent. All right, and so anyway, if you showed up 20 minutes late to see Smoker's court, he put you in jail.
In contempt. Yeah.
And instead of saying, I'm going to fine you extra $10 or something like that for blah blah. I mean, you could have done it that way. He didn't want to. He put people in jail, and he put primarily people of color in jail because when the same white people came in and had these same issues being late, they didn't get penalized.
I don't think it was coincidence.
No, but that's Steve Smoker. He's a hero to a lot of people. He is. I mean, people look at me online and they shake their head and say, "How can you get on that guy's case?" Well, I wasn't a big fan of his, obviously, no doubt about that. Let's talk about tonight's fight. Of course, we'll talk about the. Wait, take it back. I got a question here from YouTube for you. I don't know if you can answer this or not, but best up and coming heavyweight in America. Anybody to match Itama, and that comes to us from Steve86MK. I'm looking at the ratings. Go ahead.
Well, I would have to do some digging. Look, it's not there.
We have BoxRec.
Yeah, I mean, Richard Torres was probably the closest thing, and we saw what happened to him.
Against a hand-picked foe.
I mean, well, Frank Sanchez, I don't know. Can we claim him? I believe he's a U.S. citizen.
That's what I was about to say. That's my asterisk next to it. He's a Cuban living in Florida. But the bottom line is, I'm going through the first guy we got is number 17, Jarrell Miller. Of course, Jarrell was last seen with his support dog at a psychologist's office, so he's basically done. Stick a fork in him. All right, I'm going down the list some more. Deontay Richard Torres, number 28. Deontay Wilder, number 29. Let's go to the top 30. But number 40 is Terramona. Did you watch that fight with him last week?
No, I did not.
You didn't miss nothing.
I didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No.
I think the American fight fans have to wait a couple of years. There's a kid out of Jersey who has potential. His name is Malachi Georges. He's out of Jersey. I think he's a work in progress, but I think he's got some promise. But the cupboard is bare.
Okay. But the opponent last week was Deontay Savage. The only thing savage about Deontay was his last name. He came in weighing 36 pounds more than he weighed in his last fight, and he's a heavyweight. Is that ever a good thing?
No. unless you're the guy that was working the buffet table.
And wait,
Yeah.
and not only this, and then he took a dive. And then he took a stone cold dive. I kid you, it was the second round, but it was a stone cold dive, in my opinion, a stone cold dive. So anyway, stick around. This is Ring Talk Live, worldwide. Open phone lines around the planet. If you got something you'd like to say, 1-800-878-PLAY. That's 1-800-878-7529. We are live, of course, on YouTube, Twitch.tv, and whoever keeps, I'll let it go. Bottom line, this is Ring Talk. But it ain't. Wish you could be with me. There would be no problem.
This important consumer alert is from the Credit Repair Hotline, a national service designed to help people improve their credit scores. Are you paying high interest rates because of your credit rating? Wouldn't you like to be able to qualify for a better car loan or mortgage rate? Would lower monthly payments give you more financial flexibility? If you're finally ready to fix your credit problem, you need to call today and get a free consultation from the Credit Repair Hotline. In one fast and easy call, we can pull your credit rating and show you real solutions how to improve your credit. And again, this is part of a 100% free consultation. Learn how you can save money on everyday purchases by having a better credit rating. And it all starts with this free phone call right now.
800-413-6214. 800-413-6214. 800-413-6214. That's 800-413-6214.
Sometimes life changes and the house you once loved becomes a burden. Too many repairs, too many memories, too much to handle on your own. If you'd like to sell your home fast, we can help at the Home Buyers Hotline. We can help you sell your home as is, no cleaning, no showings, and there are absolutely no hidden fees or real estate commissions. We'll pay you a fair price for your home in cash. Whether you're downsizing, handling an estate, or just ready for peace of mind, call us. We'll help you walk away from your problem property in no time at all and get you the cash in your bank account with little hassles. If you'd like to sell your home fast, as is, we can help at the Home Buyers Hotline.
Call Want to Sell Your Home now for a free quote to sell your home in any condition. Call 800-950-3143. 800-950-3143. That's 800-950-3143.
We call ourselves ASAP Travel for one reason. We can help you book a ticket ASAP. For those of you that don't know, that means as soon as possible. That means no wait time. You get through right away. No searching online. Our specialty is the lowest available fares on the big name airlines. You know them. We can't tell you their names. You can fly domestically or internationally and save more money than you could if you call the airlines directly. Our proprietary software goes underneath the hood of the major airline booking systems and finds you the best rates available. So if you're ready to make your travel plans right now, business or vacation travel, we have all the major airlines, always at great rates. Call ASAP Trips and we'll have your ticket in your inbox in 15 minutes. Call this number now.
800-364-2984. 800-364-2984. 800-364-2984. That's 800-364-2984.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
Tonight on the Zone pay-per-view and Amazon Prime Video pay-per-view, of course, Teofimo Lopez, 22-2, taking on Raleigh Romero. Of course, Raleigh is 17-2. Not big punches either guy. I think each guy's got about 13 kills, so it doesn't look like this would be a knockout, not a one-punch knockout event. But how does this fight go down, Boxing's PhD, Socrates Palmer? Currently, Teofimo Lopez is about a 2-1 favorite.
Yeah, that's probably fair. How does it go? Honest, I really don't know. I think stylistically it plays out well because Teofimo, at least for Teofimo's advantage, because the only guys that give Lopez trouble are the guys that box and move and give lateral movement. Rolly Romero is not that. Rolly Romero is unorthodox as can be. He's strong, not a tremendous puncher, but obviously can crack. Ask Ryan Garcia. Um, I wish that he had another fight in between because it's been like 16 months since that Ryan Garcia fight.
Yeah.
It's a good fight. Two brand names, guys that have been around for a while now. The only thing that concerns me is that they're friends. So sometimes, when friends fight each other, they kind of fight too friendly. I think of like Maurice Blocker, Simon Brown, stuff like that. But I think Teofimo Lopez needs to win. He needs to erase that memory of the Shakur Stevenson loss as quickly as possible. But just that infighting and the instability of him and his father in the corner, who is by far the biggest cringe in boxing.
Okay.
I mean, this guy is a clown.
Okay. Whoa.
He is a clown on coke.
Okay. How can I put this? I think that Teofimo Lopez and his father are either running a game on YouTube media or they hate each other. It's one or the other. But the bottom line is, it's like a ventriloquist act with both the father and son at times playing the dummy.
Man, it's just cringe. And I mean, and I like Teofimo Lopez.
How could you say that when he lost to George Kambosos? I mean, let me tell you, I think that Daniel in the other room would have a better, George Kambosos.
I know that loss looks tremendously bad, and he had no business losing a fighter like Kambosos. But I mean, they wanted to blame the asthma that he had flaring up on him, and I don't know. Listen, I think he did enough. He did enough to make you forget about it, right? Because I mean, the Josh Taylor win, it was a good win.
Yeah.
But he hasn't had a knockout in a long time, in almost 4 years, 5 years. So that punching power where he was starching guys, on at the lightweight division.
But it was a level of competition. It was also the level of competition he was starching too, huh?
Yeah, I mean Richard Comey's a good workman, fighter, but tough. He was not knocking out elite fighters.
Yeah. Okay. So what's going to happen tonight? Who's going to win this?
I'm picking Lopez. I think he's just too skillful. I think he'll, frustrate Rolly. But Rolly's tough and honest. When I'm kind of pulling for him. Because Rolly. I think you said this a while back. Rolly's good for the game, and I'm rooting more for Rolly. You probably think I'm crazy.
That fur jacket.
Just because that fur jacket, but someone else furry who's just bad mouthing him. Clarissa Shields. This female dog is talking about him like, and I'm like, why? Like she's talking about she could beat him. So for that reason only, I'm kind of pulling for Rolly.
No, and I'm pulling, and I'm down with that too. But here's what's up. I would make her come into some an incredible weight. I would fight her. They said they're offering him $7 million. Dimitri Salinas said there was a $7 million offer on the table. Man, I'd have taken that money. We'd have fought yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, she probably could have
$7 million. Talking about $7 million to fight a chick. I think Raleigh's afraid to be the first guy to lose to a chick. He said, "Oh, you don't hit women." Yeah, okay. But the bottom line is, I think he's afraid that he'd go down in history as the first guy to lose to a chick.
You think so? No, I think boy, you really would like to see that?
No, okay, no. I got another question for you. In the last year and a half, Gervonta Davis, undefeated as he is, of course, now 31 years old, he's been on the U.S. Marshals Most Wanted list, in and out of civil and criminal court, in and out of jail, but never in a boxing ring. It's been a long time since, of course, that last fight was like 19 months ago when he had that disputed draw with Lamont. Nothing to write home about Roach. Am I too down on Lamont Roach?
Look, I mean, Lamont had a bad night at the office. He got beat up by Cepeda. He got two maybe bad shakes. Between the tank fight and
had he stepped forward and put some force in those punches, he would have been able to erase some doubt. I mean, you got to do it. He didn't. He was one of those guys that finishes with the far hand. And when you finish with the far hand, you're not finishing with the jab or the hook. that doesn't bode well. It doesn't. I mean, the great fighters finish with a near hand.
Mhm. I think that sometimes you probably are a victim of your own hype when people think that, like Lamont Roach was jobbed out of 2 fights and maybe he might have taken Cepeda lightly. Oh, Cepeda is one dimension, but that one dimension, he had no answer for it. I mean, he was a whirlwind. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens next time. We see Lamont. He probably should go back down to 130 because at 135 he looked small.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. He should go down to 130. But here's what's up. That's what happens is guys nowadays they get convinced that they can move up five. Listen, man, I moved up from 139 pounds, which was the junior welterweight limit back in the day, to 147 pounds. Okay, and I was beating up all these guys down there in the valley. I was rolling over them. And I remember my team going, yeah, but they ain't too much. I said, well, that's like 6 guys in a row. Come on, man. All right, we went to the Nationals. We fought a real welterweight, and I almost got killed. Size matters in 2 things: pornography and boxing.
You need to trademark that. I want to see that on his T-shirt one day. That is an original line, and it's very true. It's yeah. I mean, I think tonight that could be a factor. I mean, Teofimo Lopez is someone who turned pro at 135, and Rolly, kind of like the same way, but Rolly Romero is physically bigger than Teofimo. That could be a factor. And certainly the corner, the edge is light years away. Mr. Salas is a real trainer, as opposed to some cheerleader who's just telling him, is yelling at his kid, where's the power? Where's the power?
Yeah. I listen. Where's the power? Listen to this. It was 1989, I think. We're maybe 85. It was in the 80s. We're in San Jose, California. Rico Velasquez was challenging David Gonzalez, who killed Robert Wangila later in the fight, another later fight. So he and Rico Velasquez are going back and forth, and Rico's been knocked down like 7 or 8 times in an 8-round fight. I mean, that's how one-sided this fight is. So I go to the referee and I say to him, Hank, stop the fight, man. He's going to kill him. Stop the fight. Hank says to me, son, go sit down and let me do my job. And when I went back to my seat, Jack Fist, the godfather of the boxing writers, chided me for going and challenging the referee like that, right? 30 seconds later, Rico Velasquez was dead. What I remember most was I went to the corner, to Rico Velasquez's corner, and asked his father to stop the fight when the referee wouldn't. And his father was telling him, show me your balls, show me your balls. 30 seconds later, he was dead.
Wow. That's cold. I'm sure.
Oh, wow. I was like, I was absolutely, I've seen 3 ring deaths, two up close and 1 from the cheap seats. But the second one was when James Creighton knocked down Johnny Montanez at the Orleans Hotel in Las Vegas, and the bottom rope wasn't tight; it was loose, and he hit his head on the canvas and he died. So had the rope been tight, his head wouldn't have hit the canvas. Oof. That's why that rope's there. People don't realize that.
Yeah. The first fight I ever covered was Khalid Jones and B. Scotland here in New York. And that led, So you never know which,
No, but here's what's up. But I could sense that the Grim Reaper was in the house. You know what I'm saying? That's why I went to the referee and I went to his corner. I mean, imagine going to the referee and his corner just before the guy's dead. 30 seconds later, 30 seconds in the round, he laid there brain dead on the canvas. And then they didn't have any oxygen on him in the whole 9 yards. So I'm screaming, where's the oxygen? I'm the one that got the oxygen. I'm the one that got the oxygen in the ring. So it was like the California State Athletic Commission, of course, this was all on film. Channel 11 filmed it. Channel 11 gave the film to the Athletic Commission. And believe it or not, Sock, the Athletic Commission lost the film.
How convenient.
When I was the guy the referee Hank Alesperu, the referee, of course, I called him a few different times in a few different fights. I smelled alcohol in his breath before fights. I saw him drinking in Original Joe's restaurant down there in San Jose before a fight card. I wish I had a camera phone back then. But the bottom line is, I cornered this guy all kinds of times, and then I went to the Athletic Commission director, Chuck Gray, I think was his name, and turns out he was a drunk too.
Oh boy.
They were drinking together.
and that's stuff that can only happen in the 80s. Now, like you said, you wish you had a camera phone back then.
I mean,
Yeah.
I never forget. He told me he took his towel. I'm gonna let you go. We'll go to an early break here. He took his towel and he wiped his brow. And he said, "Son, go sit down and let me do my job." And I said to him, "But you're not doing your job. He's gonna die. He's gonna kill him." And I'm running around in a panic state ringside. And when I get back, Jack Fist, the godfather of boxing writers in the Boxing Hall of Fame, said to me, "You shouldn't have done that." So then we went to the hospital afterwards, and Rico's brain dead. Like he's brain dead right then and there. Everybody knew it. And Jack Fist says to me on the way home, "I'll never tell you anything like that again." Ooh, he knew. I was right. Everybody else was wrong. Unfortunately, I was right. Straight up, have a great week. Hug the kids. Say hello to the wife for me.
Thank you, brother. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the fights.
Socrates Palmer on Ring Talk Live Worldwide.
They really care about you. It's not the rough, but that's all right with me.
Do you want to add a boost to your sex life this weekend? Do you want to make your partner and yourself happy? Then call our special hotline now. We'll sell you those little pills that work below the belt for less than $1 a pill and deliver your package in a few days, just in time for the weekend. Our pill delivers almost the same results as expensive pills for less than $1 a piece, and you don't need a prescription. And ask about their buy 3 get 3 free offer. What are you waiting for? Boost your sex life and have a great time now. Less than $1 a pill, discreet delivery in a few days, and a buy 3 get 3 free offer? Dial this number and save it now.
800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. That's 800-245-2751. Paid for by the Pharmacy Shop.
Lower your car payment today. Lower your car payment today. Yes, you heard us right. You can lower your car payment right now by making this free call and save up to $1,400 a year on your current car payments. Think about your current car payment right now. What's that costing you per year? Now think about what it would be like to put an extra $1,400 back in your pocket. That's the average savings our customers experience. We can help you drive the same car and pay less every month by lowering your car payment's interest rate to as low as 4.67%. At Rate Genius, we can work with you to refinance any car payment. If you qualify, it costs you nothing to find out how you can lower your car payment. To learn more, call this number right now.
800-832-2816. 800-832-2816. 800-832-2816. That's 800-832-2816.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8223. 800-690-8223. 800-690-8223. That's 800-690-8223.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
Dana White continues to do his thing and do it well. Last week he was in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at the Xfinity Mobile Arena and drew 19,000 people. Straight at 19, good Lord, 19, not too many boxing matches draw 19,000 people. So you got to give Dana White some props here, even though, of course, if Dana was like in front of me with a car, I'd run him over. I mean, I just would, I didn't see him. I'd pull some stuff like that. But I'd probably plead temporary insanity. So, like, bottom line is I'd run him over. Anyway, there was no doubt about it. Last week, the champion remained the champion. Islam Makhachev defeated Ian Curry. That was unanimous nod across the board, like 4 rounds to one. That was the welterweight championship, 170 pounds. Of course, they co-feature Mackenzie Durham, who I've seen fight a few times, women's strawweight champion, defeated Gillian Robertson. That was a decision across the board, about the same thing, 4-1 rounds, of course. And now tonight, Dana White got things going with Anthony Hernandez and Gregory Rodriguez. We're hooking this up, of course. This will be the Golden One Center in Sacramento, California. That was the last place I ever saw Dana White. Dana and I had a professional relationship at one point in time, a personal relationship to an extent. But we were like first name basis, that kind of good stuff. Then I signed a contract with him. He tried to cut the contract. I told him to stick it up as you know what. Bottom line is he had to live up to the contract. He wasn't a happy camper. The bottom line is we haven't talked since they had a card up there at the it was the Arco Arena. Then I'm gonna take it back. It was a Golden Center, but the bottom line, Sacramento, California was the last time I saw. But this fight goes down, of course, tonight, August 22nd. At the big arena, no doubt about that. A Hispanic main event. Anthony Hernandez, middleweight, that's 185 pounds, I believe, taking on Gregory Rodriguez with an S. Of course, these co-feature heavyweights. Sergey Spivak taking on Vitor Petrino. Of course, anytime these heavyweights go in the world of the UFC, it's always don't look away because they're fighting with no gloves. It's like, come on, those aren't gloves. These 4-ounce gloves, they protect the knuckles. And maybe they protect the knuckles. There's nothing protective about that. Of course, a 4-ounce glove, when you throw it down, and of course, the problem I've got with the UFC, and of course, I'll say it time and time again, some of it is entertaining, but some of it is just brutal, and it's just not cool. When you have somebody on the ground, you shouldn't be able to hit somebody on the ground. Once they're already down, and once they're hurt, that's it. I'm not trying to say like a boxing match. What I'm saying is that you watch the referees, boom, the guy's been knocked down, he's like ready to go, and then they hit him with another shot, he gets knocked into another time zone and causes damage. That's what? You're doing that just for the viewers, for a few seconds of entertainment? It's just not fair, no doubt about that. Anyway, I think that's my one knock on the UFC, and you know that. Of course, now Dana's got this slap thing going on where I watched some 350-pound girl slap some girl with 118 pounds or something like that the other day. And listen, I didn't even watch how the result went, but I'm going to tell you like this. I've been slapped by my mother. My mother was one of the hardest slappers in the world. She could slap the spit out of you, and I mean spit with an H, with either the right hand or the left hand. She was a good hooker. Not on the street with her hands. Okay, but the bottom line is she hooked me one time and my ears rang for 3 days. So I know what it's like to be slapped. You can get concussions of being slapped. I was a cop. I remember a couple of times when guys got slapped, they got concussions. I had no idea, not me giving them. But anyway, they got concussions. So this idea of like standing there and letting somebody slap you is like crazy. It's like insane. If ever there was like a fast ticket, a one-way ticket and a fast ticket to brain damage, that's it. And then getting pounded on the ground in the UFC, that's it. So if you take those two things away, take the slap fighting away, which is like should be barbaric, and I would take that back, unconstitutional. It should be illegal. In the fighting on the ground, when you hit guys on the ground, that should be illegal as well. But the bottom line is the president's tied with Dana White. Of course, Dana White did that show on the White House lawn a couple of months ago. And I think he lost $30 million doing that, according to Socrates Palmer. But it was $30 million well spent because he gets to do whatever he wants to. And let's be honest, that Conor McGregor fight a few weeks ago in Las Vegas, everybody knew he was hurt going in. He went into a fight. Had Don King done that, happy birthday, Don King. But had Don King done that, there'd be a congressional hearing. There'd be people on television talking about it. But since it was Dana White, and Dana White's got Dana White privilege, according to Jorge Masvidal, I love him for that. Bottom line is, he gets to slide. Straight up, this is Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Stay tuned. Tomorrow, the 11 a.m. Stay tuned for the Sunday edition, 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, live here on these same channels. Until then, peace, love, and a ton of respect. And I thank you so much for listening to Ring Talk and watching Ring Talk Live Worldwide.